So in this video we're going to have a look at percentiles. Some people find them a little bit difficult. They're not super intuitive and they don't really come up that often. They just sort of come up as a standalone question, but we have to have a look anyway. So it's a measure of relative standing, which is the first bullet point, and that just means you can see how one bit of data compares to the rest of the data. So it's sort of a fancy way of saying that. So they're commonly used for exam scores and things like the HBAP for anyone who's studying or studying to try and get into medicine. So just some examples of how percentiles work. If you're in the 80th percentile, then that means you did better than 80% of people on the exam. That's if we're talking about an exam score. We're just going to keep talking about that because it's the easiest example. If you're in the 99th percentile, you did better than 99% of people on the exam. So it's pretty much the best mark you can get. I'm not sure if they have a 100th percentile. I think it just goes up to 99th. And then if you're in the first percentile, then you only did better than 1% of the people, and it's pretty much the lowest score you can get. I'm not sure they have a 0th percentile again. So yeah, I guess we'll just go down and have a look at an example. Well, first I'll actually just go to the two questions they can ask you. So there are two types of questions. In both of them, they're going to give you a list of numbers. Sometimes they're ordered, sometimes they're not. So the first thing you have to do is you have to order them. So just put them in order, basically. And next, they can ask you two separate things. They can ask you to find the 30th percentile, or whatever number they ask. They give you a specific number and ask you to find that percentile. Or they say if you got this number or this result or this mark in the exam, what percentile would you be in? So those are the two different questions they can ask you. So we're going to answer both of those with an example question. So we'll go down here. So the example is, these are the exam results for a statistics test. So there's 24 numbers. And there's two questions. You have to find the 60th percentile score, and then you have to ask if you got 74 marks, say, in this exam, say there's more people that took it, but this is all the exam results that are listed, then what percentile are you in? Okay, so we're going to answer both of them. So we'll do one first. So these are sort of standalone methods that don't come up that often in other places, or don't come up at all in other places, so you sort of just have to kind of learn off how to do this particular question. Okay, so for the 60th percentile score, so there are 24, we'll say results altogether, 24 results, and we got 60 out of 100 on our exam. So, we're looking for the 60th out of 100 percentile score. So it's percentiles are always out of 100. So we go 60 over 100 multiplied by 24, and that'll basically give us 14.4. So that means, say if you laid all of these out in a line, so 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up to 24, that means we go to the 14.4th place, and that would be our 60th percentile score. So that's sort of what this number means. So 14.4th. But in percentiles we always round up, so it's sort of a weird thing to do, because normally we'd always kind of get the average, say, but in percentiles we always round up. So 14.4 goes up to 15. So then we're looking for the 15th. I'll just get rid of that. We're looking for the 15th number. Okay, so then you just count through them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way up to 15, and we find that 72 is the 15th number. So that means the 60th percentile score, let's say 60th percentile is equal to 72. Okay, so it might seem a little bit odd, a little bit sort of difficult to follow, but really it's just something you just sort of have to learn how to do these two particular questions. That's what I found when I was doing the leaving anyway, that you just had to learn them. Next we'll do part 2. So if you got 74 marks, then what percentile are you in? So what you do is you write 74 down and then count how many people, just say, got less. Okay, so you have to count how many people got less than 74. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, count all the way up, and you'll find that 16 people got less than 74. So I'm going to write that. That's 16 people got less. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do, I'll scroll down to make some more space. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to say 16 divided by 24, because there were 24 people altogether, and then multiply that by 100. So you do that, you're going to get 66.66, and then again we're going to round up, so I'll just say up, so it's going to be the 67th percentile. So if you get 74% on that test, then you're going to be in the 67th percentile, so you did better than 67% of people. So hopefully those two questions sort of make sense. So I guess in this one, 74, you just count how many people are below you, because that's sort of what a percentile means. So 60th percentile means how many people do less than you. So and then you just put that over 24 to get the percentile version of it. Not sure if that made any sense, but those are two sort of on their own questions that'll come up. I found the best way was sort of just to learn them off. But anyway, those are percentiles. That's probably the last we're going to hear of percentiles, to be honest. They don't come up too often. In the next video, we're going to start talking about the normal distribution, and that'll pretty much be what we'll talk about for the rest of statistics. So it's the biggest topic, and it's the thing you're most likely going to get asked about. So after this, make sure to pay special attention. It's going to get a little bit harder from here on out. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you found it helpful, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.